take a live look at where the candidates are waking up this morning. Joe Biden is in his home state, Delaware, and President Trump at the White House. They both have been busy days ahead of as they make their final case to America.
The oldest two candidates in American history, offering two very different visions of America, often speaking to what seems like two very different Americas as we face a raging pandemic that has cost more than 230,000 lives, millions of jobs. The candidates are taking nothing for granted in these final hours. President Trump barnstorming 4 states Monday. Joe Biden and his team, including former President Obama, fanning out across Pennsylvania, Ohio, Florida, and Georgia. Both sides will campaign today. Mary Bruce starts us off in Pennsylvania, the state that could decide this race. Good morning, Mary.
Good morning, George. Well, it is finally here, and the candidates are out fighting for every last vote. This has been an unprecedented and hard-fought race, a year and a half of surreal campaigning, and now today it is up to the Election Day voters to bring this race across the finish line. With Election Day finally here, overnight the candidates making their final pitch.
Nobody has ever fought harder for you than I am. I will tell you, nobody.
We have to win this. We have to win this together. We can do this.
Joe Biden fired up at his last drive-in rally in Pittsburgh. In the closing frenzy, the former vice president visiting Ohio and barnstorming Pennsylvania.
The power to change this country is in your hands.
While President Trump sprinted through 4 states, all ones he won in 2016.
This does not look like a second-place finish.
As COVID cases in the U.S. climb past 9 million and with hospitalizations and new cases on the rise in every battleground state, Biden is hammering Trump on the pandemic until the very end.
We're going to beat this virus. We're going to get it under control. And the first step to beating this virus is beating Donald Trump.
In a memo obtained by the Washington Post, White House Task Force Coordinator Dr. Deborah Birx pleading with the Trump administration to take, quote, much more aggressive action against the virus. Even as the president continues to insist that the country is rounding the turn, Birx writing, quote, we are entering the most deadly phase of this pandemic.
Go out and vote.
With a narrow path to victory ahead of him, Trump's focus is on the electoral system, falsely claiming that the election could be stolen from him. Trump furious that the Supreme Court ruled Pennsylvania ballots postmarked by November 3rd can be accepted for up to 3 days after the election.
I think it's a very, very dangerous decision.
Twitter later restricting the president's tweet about the court's decision, warning he could be instigating violence. Biden saying Trump can't stop every vote from being counted.
I don't care how much Donald Trump tries. There's nothing he's going to do to stop the people in this nation from voting.
With almost 100 million ballots already cast, officials say tallying them could take several days in some states. And that's not a sign that anything is wrong. But this morning, both sides are gearing up for potential legal battles over the results and a fight for the White House that could last far beyond Election Day. Now, after a whirlwind sprint to the finish, President Trump has a relatively light schedule today, just one stop planned in his election office in nearby Virginia, while Joe Biden is going to close things out back where it all started with a visit to his hometown of Scranton, Pennsylvania. And George, tonight, Biden's campaign says he will be addressing the nation regardless of the results. George.
And Mary, the last time a candidate had a national lead like this going into Election Day was Bill Clinton in 1996, had about an 8-point lead. Does the mood inside the Biden campaign reflect that?
It really doesn't, George. I have to tell you, they are very, truly, cautiously optimistic about these polls. But they do see several paths to 270 that are encouraging for them. And they say that based on their data, the president would have to outperform in several states that he won in 2016 in order to win this. Their top concern this morning, though, I think, is that President Trump may come out and prematurely declare victory. The Biden campaign cautioning that this fight won't be over just because the president may say it is, George.
Right. The winner is determined by the voters, not the president. Mary Bruce, thanks very much.